Rumors have been swirling about a possible Zach Lavine deal that would send him to the Lakers. However, there has been a major development from an ESPN reporter making us think, what is going on in Chicago? And there has been a major update on Cam Reddish and his possible injury, and then how I think it could possibly help the Los Angeles Lakers. What's good, y'all, and welcome to another Lakers Digest video. I'm your host, Okechi Apakama, and before we get into everything of today's video, guys, I want to bring your attention to something. There is 93% of you guys who have recently watched our videos who are not subscribed to the channel just yet. If you guys want more of that, like your news, like your game coverage, trade rumors, reactions, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest to make it your home for all of it. Now, with that out of the way, let's hop straight into the topics of today's video, guys, as there has been a major development update in Lavine sweepstakes. So, the Lakers and Zach Lavine have been linked to one another ever since Chicago started off the season very poorly. There's all that turmoil going on early in the season about how Zach Lavine is probably going to get traded, and he probably still is going to get traded, just not to the Lakers, as ESPN's own Brian Windhorst said earlier on a podcast that there is a 0% chance that the Lakers are trading for Zach Lavine. And so this is a very interesting and new development as a guy like Brian Windhorst, who usually has his ear to the pipeline and really knows what's going on here. So with the Lakers, him saying the Lakers having a 0% chance of acquiring a guy like Zach Lavine really is very interesting, as all the rumors before this leading up to it was just having the Lakers and Lavine being a perfect pairing, as Lavine has so many offensive skills that can really help the Los Angeles Lakers. He's a guy who can get downhill, can really score in the paint, and then also his three-point shooting is electric, where the Lakers are one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league. So a guy like Zach Lavine probably would have made sense for the Los Angeles Lakers to make that deal. However, I think there is other factors that probably concluded to why the Lakers won't be making that deal, and also I think personally why that this is better off for the Los Angeles Lakers on why not making that Zach Lavine deal can possibly benefit them. As Zach Lavine is a guy, like I said, he has the offensive talent. He's a guy that can score at all three levels. He's a guy who can really fill it up, and then he can really be a very good microwave scorer for you. But there's some drawbacks about his game, just for me personally, because I don't know what he is on the defensive side of the ball, and then also in the playmaking department, as he hasn't really been a guy to be asked to really play make for his team, that Chicago Bulls team. So he'll do it in little spurts or maybe on second side action, but he isn't usually the main initiator. And if the Lakers were to make a trade for Zach Lavine, they would have to trade a combination of Austin Reaves, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and or Gabe Vincent just to make this deal happen. So you're trading away essentially all of your other playmakers for Zach Lavine, and then not including obviously LeBron James, but you're trading all your other playmakers, and so you're asking Zach Lavine to do something that he really hasn't done at a high level in the NBA pretty much at all. And that is really a very hard thing for the Lakers to do. And then also, one more thing with the Zach Lavine thing. So he's all that money tied up with him. So currently he's getting paid $40 million this season, and then he's going to get paid $43 the next season, $45 the season after, and then he has a player option for a $48 million deal in the year 2026. So you'll be paying Zach Lavine a hefty amount of money for the next couple of years, and that's something I don't think the Lakers really want to tie themselves up into while you're here in like the twilight of LeBron James' career, and then you're just right in the middle of Anthony Davis's prime. I don't think you want to tie yourself down to a guy like Zach Lavine, who you're not sure what you're going to get on the other side of the ball, because yes, the offensive is great, but the defense isn't going to be there for the Los Angeles Lakers. So personally, I think the Lakers might pivot to a whole other direction here, as the Lakers could be looking towards other Bulls players, in my opinion. And these other two players, one is a fan favorite, Alex Caruso, and then the other hometown guy, DeMar DeRozan. These are two guys that the Lakers could possibly pivot and make a deal for, as like I said earlier, with Brian Hurst saying the Lakers having a 0% chance they're going to make a Lavine deal, but that doesn't mean they can possibly pivot and then make a deal for these two other guys. As we take a look back at that money situation, so like DeMar DeRozan, he's getting paid a lot less this season, about $28 million, so you won't have to put in too much money. And then Alex Caruso has a very favorable contract, under $10 million there, about $9.4 million getting paid this season. Also, he's getting paid about 9.8 next season, which isn't too bad for two really value guys that you can get there for. But so I think that could be a better option to pivot for guys like DeMar DeRozan, even though he's an expiring contract, and then Alex Caruso. DeMar DeRozan has done some more playmaking, so like even if you trade for trade a guy like D'Angelo Russell in that deal, then you can get back some playmaking with DeMar DeRozan. He did it in San Antonio, and then he did it in Chicago, especially when guys like Lonzo Ball went down. So he has been playmaking for quite some time. So he's been kind of accustomed to that role and then he can also be a guy that can fill it up as well in the mid-range. He's not much of a three-point shooter as probably the Lakers would need, but he can be a guy that can fill some needs for them. And then Alex Caruso, there's not too much I can say about him. He's a plus player throughout. He knows how to play with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And then his defense on the other side of the ball is one of the best in the world. So you know what you're getting on that end, and that's what you're essentially would be trading for if the Lakers were to pivot to those other couple of Bulls players there. But we'll see what the Lakers do here, as this is the first day that almost everybody on the Lakers roster is available for trade. There's only two players in the Lakers rosters that cannot be traded, and that is LeBron James and then also Jared Vanderbilt. Just with the terms of how he signed his extension, he cannot be traded this season. So we'll see what the Lakers do here, if they pivot to those other two Bulls players, or if they go for another direction, go for maybe a DeJounte Murray or a Terry Rozier, how we've said earlier on this channel. So we'll see what the Lakers do here. They've got a lot of options, which is good. It's good to have options, but maybe we'll see if the Lakers can probably crack off a few wins here, as they still have a lot of home games here in the month of January, so they can make up some ground here. But some more news on that, as the Lakers are going to be out without one of their starters, and it's going to be there's a Cam Reddish update here. And so Cam Reddish has been dealing with some knee soreness and then also some little discomfort in his legs, and he hasn't been playing full games recently. So if he's been playing, he'll play like about the first half or like the first quarter, and then he won't finish the game. So it looks like he's going to be out for a couple of more games here, as Dave McMenamin and Woj were reporting that Cam Reddish could sit out a few games here, and it's kind of a big deal, as out of the 33 games he's played, he has started 26 of those games. Actually, I haven't realized that Cam Reddish has started that many games. But in a weird way, I think this could truly benefit the Lakers. So Cam Reddish, although he was able to jump into the starting lineup and really make a name for himself, really in that early parts of the season, where he was one of the league leaders in deflections, was really also one of the league leaders in steals, and doing a very good job on the defensive end, and really shutting down the other team's opposing guards and forwards. But it's kind of teetered off, especially since the in-season tournament, where he has picked up some nagging injuries, and it hasn't really kind of gone away, and it's kind of taken away from his defensive ability. And then also on the offensive end, he hasn't been too confident to shoot the ball. There's been games where teams have been leaving him wide open, and then he hasn't really been playing too well. And then also when he takes the ball off the dribble, he's a guy that tends to lose the ball a lot. He doesn't have a ton of ball security, especially on some of these drives, and then he can get a little indecisive at times, and that can really mess up your handle. So it's with Cam Reddish being out, I think this opens the door for an opportunity for somebody to step up, and that somebody, I believe, is Max Christie, as he's been a guy who's been steadily just playing just under the radar. He's been knocking down shots at a very high rate, and then he's unafraid to take them. And then he's also a guy that kind of knows his game. He's not a person who's going to be really stepping out of his game or try to play make or try to do something crazy. He's like, oh, am I pass, dribbling, or shooting? It's very straightforward for a guy like Max Christie. Yes, he is young, and he still makes some mistakes, especially on the defensive end, where he's getting called for awkward fouls and just different things of that nature. But then that will get better as he gets more playing time. So I think this can be a window for a guy like Max Christie, and then also Jared Vanderbilt, a guy who we seem to have forgotten about and just hasn't really started too many games, but he was a starter for the Los Angeles Lakers last season. I see him as another guy to really take a leap forward here, and as he's looked a lot healthier and he's looked a lot more like the Jared Vanderbilt of last season. But the offense is still making its way around, but like with the more playing time that it's going to be opened up, that Cam Reddish is not going to be playing, guys like Max Christie and Jared Vanderbilt really have a chance to step up here for the Los Angeles Lakers, especially in their time of need. But we'll see what happens tonight. Lakers play the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then next up, they've got, I believe it's the Clippers, or it could be... Actually, no, I believe it's the Mavericks, then the Clippers. But yeah, so Lakers do have a couple of tough games here, but they're all at home. So we'll see if they can capitalize on this opportunity here. Make sure you guys comment. Do you guys want the Lakers to still try to make a deal for Zach Lavine or possibly those other Bulls guys, put their names together, Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan, and then or maybe somebody else like a DeJounte Murray or Terry Rozier. And then also, do you think that Cam Reddish, could this be an opportunity for guys like Max Christie and Jared Vanderbilt to really up their play and really just shore up the Lakers, especially on that end? So we'll see what happens, like I said. But this has been Lakers Digest. I've been Okechi Apakama, and I'll see you guys on the next one.